Alright, so I just uploaded a startup file. I just made it right now. This car has a fuel system by George right here by the shop. Honestly, one of the best fuel systems that I've ever tuned, to be honest. So the fuel system is based off of the feedback I've given him from testing it on his personal cars and other fuel systems. And the idle is very, very good right now. Alright guys, I have this 07 350Z. It was automatic. So the ECU is automatic, but there's no tune on this one. And the owner is not looking forward to purchasing a different ECU, so we're going to flash this through the OEM computer, through the OEM dealer computer, the factory tool, and flash it over to a manual transmission. So here we go. Did I hit start? I don't know. Now we gotta wait. What's up guys, I have this 14370Z. She's bringing it in for a retune. I had already tuned her car, I believe last month, and now she's adding a couple more parts to it. It is on E85. She did change some of the exhaust parts from last time, and it actually does need a retune. So right now it's running way too rich from just swapping out the exhaust parts, so it needs a retune. Very nice color, there she is. And then I'm gonna do this one after this orange one, and then I'm gonna do this one after this gray one right here. With this guy from the Avengers. Is that how the song goes? What's up guys, I have this 04 350Z 6-speed. Has a short ram intake. It has single exit exhaust, has full exhaust. Baseline is 191. As you can see, I basically lit off at 5,000 RPM. Around 5,000 RPM. I should be making more than 191, but this car just burns a lot of oil. As soon as I give it gas, just clouds of smoke. It's also running very lean. And what are you looking at? Oh my goodness, you're so cute. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Alright, so this guy here, his motor is no good. I already explained everything to him. He understood everything. It's like, you know, he expected it. And well, you can see it gained a lot of power, 36 wheel horsepower, but that's nowhere where it should be after the tune. And he's already preparing himself to get a motor swap.
What happens in your back? A bunch of pimples on your back.
No, I got stabbed.
No, for real. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, hell no.
I have this 2015 Q50. The owner dropped it off really early in the morning, somewhere I believe 7 or 8 in the morning. He has an appointment today to get a tune, and he's adding the UPT 3-inch intakes So obviously those require a tune. So they just finished installing the intakes, and I'm uploading a tune so the car can start and run. And then I'll go ahead and tune this car. You like my new shoes? Alright, so the owner is on his way back. I already let him know I'm gonna start tuning it. I actually already started, and I let off around 7,000 RPM. It's making 290 wheel horsepower. Again, it has 3-inch intakes and do exhaust on stock injectors on 91 octane, and the torque is 248. It's probably gonna stay around there. The torque 248 might go up a little bit, maybe 250, 252. Well, we'll see what's gonna go on with that. 291. All right, we are at 298. All right, so there they go. Very nice people. I don't know if you guys watch my YouTube videos. All right, guys. So I'm gonna change the oil on the GTR, and I'm just gonna show you the quick process, I guess, to do this. So there's actually a few different ways to do this. So sometimes people will take out the whole under tray, the cover on the bottom. There's nothing wrong with that, it just takes longer. Some people do know that just you can take off only this piece. So sometimes it seems like you cannot take off just this piece, and that's because it seems like it gets stuck in there. So you're kind of thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, it's two pieces, but you can just take everything off to make it easier. But it's easier just to take off this. Maybe a lot of you know, maybe some of you don't, maybe some of you have GTRs and you don't do it yourself. You could do it yourself. Obviously it's easier with the lift, but it's literally just a regular oil change. And of course there's the GTR tax that gets done when you go to certain places. Now it's understandable if the oil you are using is expensive. For example, I've used different ones. I've tried different oils on my car, but in the end I'm sticking to Motul for now. And that one of course is pretty expensive, but even at that it costs less than if I were to go somewhere else or go to the dealer. I did call around and ask for prices just to make sure, and it's always cheaper if you just do it yourself, even with me getting an expensive oil. And before the Motul, because I don't remember, the Motul right now is roughly 110 for the whole oil change, and maybe like $5 or less for the oil filter. I use the OEM oil filter. The car originally takes mobile, and even at that it's about $60, and if you do it yourself. So it's just literally a regular oil change. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this middle cover, and I'll get back to you guys. And all the screws and the plastic clips are off, and some rubber nipple condom thing. So you see, I didn't record it, but it was stuck on there. But you could see it has, I don't know if you can see, where is it? Right there. This little plastic dowel pin right there, and you can see how it gets held in there. And you have to just move these out of the way. Literally takes 1 second. These actually hold it in very well, so it seems like it doesn't want to come off. And then you can see it's just right there, and then the drain plug is right there. It's just a basic oil change. Now, of course, it does take, honestly, just a little bit longer, maybe 30 seconds more, maybe a minute more, because you have to take off extra screws and plastic clips. But there's cars out there that probably have the same amount of things to take out, and some don't. And this is everything I took off. They're all 10s, and these are the plastic clips, and these are the rubbers, and there's some that are hidden in there like that, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the oil filter. Well, I should probably take off the oil first. Does it even matter? What do you guys think? But before I do that, I might as well show you guys the bottom of the GTR motor. Another thing, I normally change the oil on my GTR anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 miles. I do not wait 5,000 miles. Sorry, my Uber was messaging me, Uber Foods. They ran out of something. So I changed my oil roughly 2,500 to 3,000 miles on the GTR. And this last time, I did not change it for 5,000 miles because I wanted to see how it burns oil, if it does, which obviously any motor will burn a small amount of oil. It's completely normal, unless you have like a D or something, and then, you know, it really burns it. But you guys know what I mean. So there's like a normal amount. It's an engine. It's gonna, you know, the oil has to go somewhere. But this one doesn't. It was at 5,000 miles. It still had about roughly 90% of the oil still in there, and the oil is really clean. So I was pretty surprised. I was checking it maybe every 1,000 miles to see what the oil looked like and where it was at. And it was, by 3,000 miles, it was still full. So every time I change it at 2,500, 3,000, it's still full. So this lets me personally decide on this specific car, you know, how much further I can go without changing the oil. And of course, it depends on how you drive it. So instead of doing 2,500 miles, I'm gonna go up to a minimum of 3,000. I might do 3,000 to maybe 3,500 or 4,000 at the most. I don't want to do the 5,000, even though it still had about 90% of the oil. I think that's too much, to be honest. Even though it has the oil and the oil looks clean, the oil itself could not be doing its job properly anymore. So I'm going to just probably do what I said, maybe 3,000 to 3,500, maybe 4,000 at the most for the next oil change. So, you know, I'm putting the oil to use because I used to change it at 2,500 and I would take it out and it was extremely clean and it was still completely full. So that's what you could do on your own cars. You need to see if it burns oil so you know like how far you can go and things like that. All right, so this is your typical 14. I already drained the oil out. I took off the filter. I put a new filter. Make sure to lube up the O-ring on the oil filter. You could use the new oil on there or some of the old oil. All right, so the drain plug is tight. The new oil filter is on, and I'm putting the cover back on. All right, so I already put the oil on. I closed the oil cap, turned it on. It's for about 30 seconds so the oil can flow through the new filter. And I went ahead and checked it and added a little bit more oil because the oil I first put in had to go through the oil filter. So now I need to add more. And then that's pretty much it. Again, it's not a tutorial. Obviously, it's not a tutorial. It's just to show you guys that it's the same thing as any other basic car.